Start your day with happiness. Because if you don't, the day will decide for you. And most days, left on their own, bring problems. They bring worries. They bring demands. But happiness? Happiness must be chosen. It must be designed. It must be started on purpose. See, you don't stumble into happiness. You build it. You don't wait for it to show up. You bring it with you. If you rise in the morning with gratitude, your day begins with strength. If you rise in the morning with worry, your day begins with weakness. Think about that. The morning sets the tone. The morning decides the mood. The morning decides whether you run the day or the day runs you. Happiness is not magic. It's not luck. It's a discipline. It's a decision. So my question is, how will you begin tomorrow? With doubt? With fear? Or with happiness by choice? Happiness is a choice. It's not an accident. It's not a gift handed out at random. It's not reserved for the lucky. It's a decision, a discipline, a design. And nowhere is that decision more important than in the morning. Think about it. When you wake up, you are given the gift of a brand new day, a clean slate, another chance. The page is blank, and you get to write on it. But here's the truth. The first words you write will set the tone for the whole story. If you start your morning with gratitude, with optimism, with happiness, you carry that spirit into the hours ahead. But if you begin with anger, with fear, with stress, you carry that burden all day long. That's why I say, the morning is your foundation. If you build it strong, the day will stand firm. If you build it weak, the day will collapse under the weight of problems. Now, some people say, Jim, I can't just decide to be happy. Life is too hard. Problems are too real. And I understand. Life is difficult. Challenges come. Bills show up. People disappoint you. But here's what you must understand. Happiness is not the absence of problems. Happiness is the way you decide to face them. Problems will come whether you're happy or not. So why not choose happiness first? Why not arm yourself with joy so when the problems arrive, you are ready? It's not the problem that determines your mood. It's your decision. Let me give you an idea. When you wake up tomorrow, before you check your phone, before you read the news, before you rush into the noise of the world, pause, take 1 minute, breathe, smile, and simply say, today, I choose happiness. Sounds simple, doesn't it? But it's powerful because you're training your mind. You're reminding yourself, happiness is not out there, it's in here. Now here's something else. Happiness in the morning is contagious. When you start the day with happiness, you carry it into every conversation, every task, every challenge. And the people around you, your family, your coworkers, your friends, they feel it. But if you start the day with frustration, with anger, with bitterness, others feel that too. So the question is, what will you spread? Hope or despair? Joy or complaint? The morning decision doesn't just affect your life, it affects everyone who crosses your path. And here's the real secret. If you practice choosing happiness each morning, over time, it becomes a habit, a way of life. At first, it's deliberate. You have to remind yourself, you have to practice. But eventually, it becomes who you are. You wake up, and happiness is no longer a decision, it's your natural state. And isn't that what we all want? To live with joy, not just on special days, but every day? Not just when circumstances are perfect, but even when they're not? That begins with the morning decision. Every day has 2 doors. One door is happiness. The other door is misery. And the handle is in your hands. When you wake up tomorrow, choose the right door. Choose happiness. Choose gratitude. Choose strength. Because once you do, the rest of the day will follow your lead. And that's the power of the morning decision. Gratitude. The foundation of daily joy. If happiness is the house, then gratitude is the ground it's built on. You see, happiness cannot stand on its own. It needs roots. It needs an anchor. It needs something deeper than just a smile. And that anchor is gratitude. Here's the truth. You cannot be miserable and grateful at the same time. Try it. It's impossible. The mind cannot hold bitterness and gratitude together. One will always push the other out. So if you want happiness in the morning, start with gratitude. Not later in the day. Not when something good happens. But first thing, before the world has a chance to tell you how to feel. Now, I know what some people say. Jim, I don't have much to be grateful for. My life is hard. My problems are big. And yes, problems are real. But here's the mistake. If you wait for life to be perfect before you feel grateful, you will wait forever. Gratitude is not about perfection. It's about perspective. It's not having everything you want. It's appreciating everything you have. Think about it. Did you wake up this morning? Then be grateful you were given another chance. Do you have a roof over your head? Be grateful many don't. Do you have food to eat, clothes to wear, people who care about you? Be grateful because someone, somewhere, is wishing for what you already have. Gratitude is not for the extraordinary. Gratitude is for the ordinary, because when you see the ordinary as a gift, it becomes extraordinary. And here's the power of gratitude. It changes your lens. It changes how you see the world. If you wake up focused on what's missing, you'll see more lack. If you wake up focused on what's wrong, you'll find more problems. But if you wake up focused on what's good, you'll discover even more to be thankful for. Gratitude attracts more to be grateful for. It's like a magnet. The more you practice it, the more blessings you notice. And the more blessings you notice, the happier you become. So here's a simple practice. Tomorrow morning, before the rush begins, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Just 3. They don't have to be grand. They don't have to be impressive. They just have to be real. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's the chance to start over. Maybe it's simply the sunrise outside your window. Write them down. Speak them out loud. And feel the shift inside you. Because gratitude is not just a thought, it's a feeling. It's not just a list, it's a spirit. Now, here's what's interesting. Gratitude doesn't erase problems, but it puts them in perspective. Suddenly, the problem looks smaller compared to the blessing. Suddenly, the weight feels lighter compared to the gift. Suddenly, you realize life is not as bad as your worry made it seem. And from that place of gratitude, happiness flows naturally. Let me share with you a principle. The thankful heart opens the door to a joyful life. Ungrateful people, even if they have abundance, still feel poor. But grateful people, even in scarcity, feel rich, because wealth is not just in the bank account, it's in the heart. So if you want to start your day with happiness, don't begin with what I don't have. Begin with what I already have. Don't begin with complaint. Begin with thanks, because gratitude is the soil. Happiness is the flower, and no flower grows without soil. So tomorrow morning, ask yourself, what can I be grateful for today? What blessings are already around me? And how can I carry that gratitude into every hour ahead? Do that, and happiness will not just visit you, it will stay with you. Let me ask you something today. What's the very first thing you let into your mind in the morning? Because here's the truth. Whatever gets in first usually sets the tone for the rest of the day. If you open your eyes and the first thing you do is worry, then your whole day carries that worry. If you wake up and the first thing you do is complain, then your day becomes a string of complaints. But if you wake up and you fill your mind with gratitude, with inspiration, with clarity, then your day reflects that light. It's not what happens out there, it's what happens in here. That's the secret. Think of your mind as a clean page every morning. Nothing written yet. No words, no pictures, no stories. Just blank. And then something writes the first line. Is it the news? Is it social media? Is it worry about yesterday? Or is it something stronger? Something wiser? That first line, it matters. Because the mind tends to follow the path it starts on. If you let the world write the first sentence of your day, don't be surprised when the whole story feels messy. But if you write it, if you choose, then the day follows your design. That's guarding your mind in the morning. I often say, your mind is like a garden. If you don't plant flowers, weeds will grow automatically. That's nature. The same is true for your thoughts. If you don't intentionally plant gratitude, wisdom, happiness, and hope, then worry, fear, and negativity take over. Not because you want them, but because they grow wild. So, what's the answer? Be the gardener. Wake up and plant what you want to see grow. Read something uplifting. Listen to a voice that inspires you. Say a few words of gratitude. It doesn't take much, but it makes all the difference. Guarding your mind doesn't just mean what you put in. It also means what you keep out. Not every voice deserves your attention in the morning. Not every story deserves your energy. Be careful with the news. Be careful with gossip. Be careful with negativity. Why? Because the morning is the most delicate time. It's when your mind is most open, most impressionable. What you allow in sticks deeper. So, put up a filter. Ask yourself, will this strengthen me or weaken me? If it weakens you, don't let it in. That's guarding your mind. Now, here's the good news. Guarding your mind is not complicated. It's not about perfection. It's about intention. Create a small ritual, something that belongs to you. It could be 5 minutes of silence. It could be reading a paragraph of a good book. It could be writing down 3 things you're grateful for. The size doesn't matter. The consistency does. Because what you do every morning shapes not just your day, but your life. Remember this. Success is nothing more than a few disciplines practiced every day. And guarding your mind in the morning is one of those disciplines. Let me give you a simple picture. 2 people wake up at the same time. One person rolls over, grabs their phone, scrolls through bad news, sees complaints, compares their life, feels small, feels rushed. That's the first input. That's the tone. The other person wakes up, takes a deep breath, whispers, "Thank you." They sit for a moment, read a passage from a good book, and write down a small goal for the day. That's their input. That's their tone. Both will face challenges today, but one has prepared their mind and one has not. The difference? Guarding the gate. So, here's the assignment for you. Tomorrow morning before the world gets in, decide what you let in first. Decide what your first thought, your first word, your first influence will be. Because once you learn to guard your mind in the morning, you discover something powerful. You can't always control the day, but you can always control how you start it. And that is where happiness begins. Happiness is not just a thought. It is not just a feeling. It is energy, and energy is physical. It moves through your body. It flows through your mind. It shapes the way you see the world. That is why movement matters. That is why action matters. The way you start your day physically will shape how you feel emotionally and mentally. Many people think the mind controls the body, but often it's the other way around. The body leads the mind. When you move, your mind responds. When you stretch, your mood stretches. When you breathe deeply, your thoughts expand. Consider this: a simple walk in the morning, a few stretches, some deep breaths. That small movement sends a signal to your mind. I am awake. I am alive. I am ready. Suddenly, worry loses its weight. Fear loses its grip. Happiness begins to flow. I have always said, motion creates emotion. If you are feeling sluggish, sad, or low in energy, move. Move your body. Move your thoughts. Move your attitude. It doesn't take hours of exercise. Even 5 minutes of intentional movement, walking, stretching, or a few deep breaths can shift your entire day. Why? Because your brain responds to your body. Your cells respond to your movement. Your nervous system responds to your energy. When the body acts, the mind follows. Energy is precious, and mornings are when it is highest. The way you use it first thing determines how the rest of your day flows. Do not waste it. Do not give it to worry. Do not surrender it to negativity. Instead, invest it in yourself. Invest it in your body. Invest it in your health. Invest it in your movement. Because when your energy is high, your mind is clear. When your mind is clear, your decisions are better. When your decisions are better, your results improve. Let me give you a simple example. You wake up tired, sleepy, dragging yourself to the kitchen. You drink coffee. You scroll on your phone. Your energy is low. Your focus is scattered. Or you wake up You take 5 minutes to stretch. You breathe deeply. You walk outside, even if just to the porch, and feel the morning air. Which morning do you think leaves you happier? Which morning gives you more control over your day? Which morning helps you start your day with happiness? The answer is clear. Small actions done consistently produce enormous results. And here's the beauty. Movement is contagious. When you carry energy, people around you feel it. Your spouse, your children, your coworkers, they notice your energy. It spreads, not because you are showing off, not because you are loud, but because energy communicates itself naturally, and happiness follows energy. When your body moves, your spirit moves. When your spirit moves, your life moves. Here's a simple formula. 1. Stretch. Wake up your muscles. Open your chest. Roll your shoulders. 2. Breathe. Take deep, intentional breaths. Oxygen fuels both body and mind. 3. Engage. Set a small intention. Decide what your focus will be today. Even 10 minutes of this morning ritual can set the tone for your entire day. It primes your body, clears your mind, and elevates your spirit. Energy and movement are not magic. They are a discipline, and like all disciplines, they require consistency. Some mornings you won't feel like it. You'll feel tired, unmotivated, or distracted. That is exactly the morning you need it most. Because happiness does not always wait for feelings. Sometimes it is created through action. Sometimes you must move first, and the emotion will follow. So let me remind you today, happiness is energy. Energy is movement. Movement is action. Action begins your day. Start your morning with motion. Start your morning with intention. Start your morning with energy. And the rest of the day will follow. Because your body leads your mind. Your mind leads your thoughts. Your thoughts lead your actions. Your actions lead your results. Move, feel, live, and happiness will follow you naturally. Happiness is not a moment. It is not a reward for getting what you want. It is not something that waits for circumstances to be perfect. Happiness is a lifestyle, a choice you make, a discipline you practice every morning, a habit you carry through every hour. If you wait for happiness to appear, you will wait forever. If you chase happiness like a fleeting shadow, you will never catch it. But if you decide to live it, to cultivate it, then happiness becomes steady, reliable, and yours. Think of happiness as a garden. If you water it occasionally, it may bloom for a while, then wilt. If you feed it some days and neglect it others, it may survive, but never thrive. But if you tend it consistently, if you feed it, water it, protect it every single day, it grows strong. It blooms beautifully. It becomes a part of who you are. Happiness works the same way. The daily decision to be grateful, to move, to guard your mind, to start your day with purpose. These small acts accumulate over time. They compound. They create a life of joy, not just moments of it. When happiness becomes your lifestyle, it begins to spill over. Your family notices it. Your coworkers feel it. Your friends are drawn to it. Happiness is not selfish. It is contagious. It affects the world around you. Think about it. When you smile, when you show gratitude, when you carry energy and optimism, others respond. The day feels lighter. Opportunities appear brighter. Problems feel smaller. By choosing happiness every day, you don't just change your life, you change the lives of those around you. Some people believe happiness comes naturally. They wait for the right mood or good circumstances. But that is a mistake. Happiness is a discipline. It does not wait for mood. It does not wait for events. You practice it. You train it. You make it a habit. Just like you brush your teeth every morning, you must feed your happiness every morning. Just like you exercise your body, you must exercise your mind and heart toward joy. Discipline is the bridge between desire and result. And happiness is no different. Discipline creates lasting happiness. Happiness is not found only in big moments. It is not in vacations, in awards, or in achievements. Happiness is found in the ordinary, in the sunrise, in the smile of a loved one, in a cup of coffee, in a quiet moment of reflection. When you recognize the beauty in the ordinary, happiness becomes constant. It does not depend on events. It does not depend on people. It does not depend on luck. It is yours because you chose it. All the principles we've discussed, choosing happiness, practicing gratitude, guarding your mind, moving your body, they are not just morning routines. They are the foundation of a lifestyle. The way you start the day shapes the way you live the day. The way you live the day shapes the way you live your life. Small, intentional acts each morning, compounded day after day, create a life filled with joy. And remember, happiness is not selfish. It is not indulgent. It is productive. A happy person is a creative person. A happy person makes better decisions. A happy person attracts opportunities. A happy person inspires others. Happiness is not only a gift to yourself, it is a gift to the world. So here's the challenge. Do not let the morning be your only moment of happiness. Do not let it fade as the day grows busy. Carry it with you. Protect it. Feed it. When challenges come, and they will let happiness guide your response. When people disappoint you, let happiness guide your thoughts. When life becomes difficult, let happiness guide your attitude. Happiness is not naive. It is not ignoring reality. It is choosing strength over despair. It is choosing clarity over chaos. It is choosing energy over fatigue. So my friends, if you want to live a life of joy, do not wait for special moments. Do not wait for conditions to be perfect. Do not let happiness be a visitor. Make happiness your lifestyle. Choose it every morning. Protect it with discipline. Feed it with gratitude. Move your body. Guard your mind. When you do, something remarkable happens. Life begins to respond. Opportunities appear. Your relationships deepen. Your work becomes meaningful. And your life speaks for itself. Happiness is not a moment. It is a choice. It is a discipline. It is a lifestyle. And it begins the moment you decide. So now, my friends, you know the secret. Happiness is not something that happens to you. It is not found in luck. It is not borrowed from others. Happiness is a choice, a decision you make every morning, a discipline you practice with intention. If you rise each day with gratitude, if you guard your mind from negativity, if you move your body and fuel your energy, if you carry joy as a lifestyle, then happiness becomes more than a moment. It becomes who you are. It becomes the rhythm of your life. Remember, the morning is your foundation. The first thoughts you allow, the first actions you take, the first energy you create, and that foundation determines the entire day, the entire life. So don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't leave happiness to chance. Decide it. Practice it. Live it. Start your day with happiness and watch as your life transforms moment by moment, choice by choice, into something extraordinary. Because a life built on happiness is a life worth living.